you were LeBron James. To put it in context for young kids, to me, you were LeBron before LeBron. I mean, I felt like 10,000 people coming to your games, and the excitement that you created with your play in high school. Is it interest you today that the media covers people so closely?
Well, not really. There's a lot of competition, there's a lot of media, and there's a lot of interest. So, of course, when I played, there wasn't nearly as much media attention. There just wasn't that much media. But there was a great deal of interest in our team. We had a great team.
Right.
And we still hold the all-time record for victories in a row in Ohio, 76 wins in a row. So much interest. You mentioned 10,000 people. We actually had 15,000 people every time we played Hamilton in the Cincinnati Garden in
for a high school game.
Regular season games, not a tournament, not a playoff.
Right, not a championship, just a regular game.
Yeah, and the 3 years I played high school basketball, I never played in the Hamilton gym, nor did any of the Hamilton players ever play in the Middletown gym, because those games are always taken to the Cincinnati Garden because of interest, and we probably could have taken many more of our games there because of the interest in our team.
You opted to take an academic scholarship. You were a straight A student. You opted to take an academic scholarship. Obviously, they were handing you an athletic scholarship, but that sends a certain message. Talk about that a little bit.
Well, it was important for me. I mean, I was a student. I was primarily interested in my education at Ohio State instead of basketball. I mean, I was a student. I went to school to get a degree, and so that was in the forefront of my mind. And I told them, I said, I want an academic scholarship and not an athletic scholarship. If anything happened to me as an athlete, if I'd have gotten hurt, wasn't able to play, I still had my scholarship, and that was of the primary importance to me, and that's continued throughout my life. I mean, I've always been interested in education. I'm an educator today. I'm a teacher of my systems, memory systems, and learning systems, and what I do, and so it's continued through my lifetime.
You've got to be one of the only people ever to win like you did on the high school level, win on the college level, do what you did in the Olympics, and then win championships in the NBA. I mean, I don't see anybody else, doing that kind of thing. What does that mean to you today when you reflect back on it?
Well, that's the most important thing in my athletic career. I was the first to ever win at every level, high school, college, the Olympics, and the pros. Only 2 other players have ever done that, so it's a rare feat because somebody always misses out someplace along the line. And I was fortunate to be on great teams at every level with great coaches and great teammates, and obviously enjoyed the game. And that's the thing you remember the most. I mean, you don't remember individual things or All-American or All-Pro or all those things. You remember winning as being the best group you could possibly be on that particular level at that particular time.
My all-time favorite NBA team is your Knicks teams. The way that you guys played the game of basketball, I think it's the way that it should be played. You and Frazier and Monroe and DeBusschere and Willis Reed and those guys. Red Holzman, obviously, your coach. I always get in the argument with the new guys today. They say, well, they couldn't have played with those guys today. And I go down that team and I look at those players and I tell you, my argument always closes with, yeah, let's go play 7 games, and I'm saying they do.
There's no doubt we could play. I think any great player on any level could have played at any other level if they trained and did the same things that they did at that particular time. That Knicks team is the most intelligent professional basketball team ever put together. There's no doubt about it. From a standard IQ point, as well as basketball knowledge, you had Rhodes Scholars, PhDs, Phi Beta Kappas, on and on and on.
I left off Mr. Bradley. But
He was a Rhodes Scholar. And Phil Jackson would go on to be one of the great coaches of all time. So there was an unbelievable knowledge of the game, which made the game fun to play and fun to watch, because we did things that other teams didn't do. The intricacies of the game and all the plays. We had at least 2 times or more plays than any other team in the NBA. And you got to see a lot more of the game, a lot of the facets of the game that you didn't get to see other places. And you don't see a lot of that in professional basketball today. ESPN highlights, they show 8 out of the top plays are dunks, 8 out of 10. And so the kids are not practicing the basics of the game. They want to dunk the ball and do all the flashy stuff. And that doesn't always lead to victory.
But you were always unselfish. Today so much of the game is me. Isolation, let me get the ball, clear out. And you were always about getting your teammates involved and doing, if the team needed rebounding, you rebounded that day. If they needed outside shooting, you did that. Talk to that a little bit for the younger people that watch our network about basketball.
Well, that was always important for me, to be part of a group, a team. A team is a team. It's not an individual. People started to contact me to recruit me to go to the university or college when I was in junior high school. In those years, you couldn't play as a ninth grader because it was junior high, and high school was 10, 11, and 12. Right. And I hated it. I didn't want to be bothered. I wanted to be left alone. I wanted to live a normal life. Right. So I went to my parents, Paul Walker, who would become my high school coach, the principal of the high school, and Jerry Nardiello, who was a writer at the local newspaper. And I said, get the word out. I don't want to be bothered. I want to be left alone. I want to live a normal life. Anybody tries to recruit me, I will never go to that university or college. So kind of that was the beginning. I didn't want to be special. I mean, I didn't want to have special attention. I just wanted to be a group, part of a group, enjoy my friends, and I played that way. It was very important to me. I know when I went to Ohio State, on our freshman team, I had been playing against great players in the summer in Middletown. From the time I was 14 years old, I played against All-Americans. The Cincinnati Royals used to come down. I played against pros. You know, I had far better competition in the summer than I ever did playing high school basketball. So when I came to Ohio State, I was years ahead of my fellow classmates coming in. So when we played the varsity, I had to score a lot of points. But as the year went on, I scored fewer and fewer and fewer. It wasn't important to me, you know, to be the number one scorer. I most of the time was, but one of the things that I appreciate about all the players that I played with, they always say that I was one of the most unselfish players they ever played with, and that's how you have a team. I mean, I could have averaged over 40 points a game in college, but we wouldn't have had a team. The camaraderie wouldn't have been there, the fun wouldn't have been there. You all have to be part of it and feel you're contributing and understand and know that you're part of a group that works together well, not separately, to accomplish an end. And a lot of times in basketball today, as you said, it's me. Yeah. And I see far too much of it. It's not fun for me. I don't enjoy it, and I don't think it's the way the game should ever be played. Yeah.
People are struggling with public education, with education in the classroom. Some of the things that you've mastered, I've seen you memorize a phone book on Johnny Carson one time, I think, too, by the way. But the things that you've mastered, are those things that principles that could be taught in schools to help kids that maybe struggle a little bit?
Easily. Soon that'll all be changed. I'm developing a website called Dr. M's Universe. I'm known as Dr. Memory, so Dr. M represents Dr. Memory. It's going to be sensational. Learning is automatic when you do it the right way. I've worked 37 years of my life preparing for this. And it's so exciting that the website will be feature film, Disney, Pixar quality, 3D throughout, 125 video games, thousands of venues to learn, music, all sorts of things will be involved. Fun, exciting, and impossible not to learn. It's a couple of years away. But when it's available in a couple of years, it's going to make an incredible inroads into making education fun and easy for all youngsters. We lose millions of young people that don't learn to read and write. Education's no fun for them. Repetition has never been fun, never will be fun. And what I do is totally automatic. It's fun, it's easy, and it's going to make an incredible impression and be an aid to education for years to come.
Mr. Lucas, I think today in our society we throw around legend in sports and politics and in music, or maybe the latest contestant on American Idol. But I got to tell you, on behalf of Buckeye Cable System, BCSN, what a true honor it is to talk to a real legend and a gentleman who's always given back to the game and to people in general. Mr. Lucas, thank you so much for being with us.
My pleasure.